So what you're gonna need to make a transducer like this run with your PlayStation 4 is a couple of things. First, you need an amplifier. This is a cheap 20 watt, 20 pound amplifier from Amazon. It says a 100 watts on both channels, but you can expect the power output of it will really depend on what kind of power you're gonna feed into it. So what I'm using to power it is just an old laptop charger, which is 19 volts and 3.5 amperes, and it's well good enough to supply both the amplifier with power that it needs to run that transducer. And what you're gonna also need is a basic speaker system with a separate subwoofer output. And the reason that you're gonna need that is you can try to connect your TV output, aux output, directly to this amplifier, and to be honest, it is going to work, but you're gonna have to set the volume on this to maximum and bass basically to maximum, but still there'll be a lot of frequencies sent to your transducer that things like wind noise, when you're going faster, there's going to be a constant vibration coming off of it, and when you connect it to your subwoofer output, you're gonna have very easy time to isolate it. So things like engine rumble, the curbs that you're gonna run over, and the gear shifts, when you connect it to your subwoofer output, they're gonna be really easy to isolate and feel through being emitted through your seat. So to connect it all together, you're gonna probably need a RCA splitter cable, because you want to tap into your subwoofer output, and you still want to run your subwoofer, which you would plug into one of the ends of your splitter cable, and to the other end of your splitter cable you're gonna solder a jack cable. So when you have it connected, all together, you would run your aux cable output from your TV to your speaker system. This is just the basic 2.1 speaker system. From you would plug your RCA splitter cable to your subwoofer output. You'll plug your subwoofer here, and then you would have that cable that you've made running to your amplifier, and then you'd have your transducer connected to one of the channel. It depends to which channel you're gonna solder your jack output with your RCA, because there are obviously two channels in the aux cable, but there is only one signal and one sort of ground coming out of that cable. You would have your transducer mounted under the seat. What I'm using is just a normal car seat, and what the subwoofer there is mounted to is just one of the supporting bars, and so it really actually has a contact patch which is that wide, but it's still well more powerful enough that you would feel comfortable of running at all times, especially during the long races. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play this replay, and what you're going to hear is just a transducer working, and those two little speakers in my TV running as well. You can probably hear the transducer run. The vibrations are pretty strong, but how we would control it is that with your bass and volume on this little amplifier, with the bass, you're gonna be most able to control how much constant noise and vibration actually there is coming out of your transducer, and with the volume you'll be able to control the power output of it and how strong they are. So what you would also want to do is, in your Gran Turismo, you would go to your sound volume effects, and what you would do is, I have menu background music turned off, so I want to give the transducer a little bit of period to cool off between the races, but it's not running hot at all, to be honest. And what you would do is you would put player engine sounds and transmission noise and tire squeal to +5, because you want those, especially those two, you want them to be more pronounced coming out from the game than things like wind noise, for example. So you are able to feel them better rather than just having a constant vibration coming out through your seat. I do believe that this little setup is very much worth it. So if you connect it the way I showed you, going through a speaker system with a separate subwoofer output, what you were able to feel through your car seat are things like engine rumble that is very pronounced, and the things like curbs that you're gonna run over are very believable, especially connected with what you're able to feel through your steering wheel, and when you set it correctly on your little amplifier, you would also, just juggling a little bit with the bass and volume, you will, in some cars, depending on the car, you will also going to be able to feel things like gear shifts that are very strong, especially in like Group 1, Group 2 and Group 3 cars in your Gran Turismo. But if you connect your little amplifier directly to your TV without going through a separate speaker system, I would say it's still worth it. It's better than not having anything. Once you use it, you're gonna get accustomed to it. You're gonna miss it when you not have it on. If you're thinking about it, do it. It only costs probably within 50 quids. If you have to buy your amplifier from Amazon for probably £20 or less, and then transducer, the one like I've showed you, probably costs about 30 to 50 pounds over the internet, or you can find ones that are as powerful as this one, because this is 50 watts RMS, 100 watt peak. Or you can find the ones that are that cost about 20 pounds on eBay. They won't have the black casing around it. They would just have the inner outings working of it, but you will still be able to connect to mount it to your seat, or whatever the kind of seat that you're using. And so I'm very happy with what I've done. It really exceeded my expectations of what you'll be able to feel through it, just running it out of subwoofer split, because with your PlayStation you're obviously not able to run any software in the background to control your transducer like you would do on a PC.